Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Obviously, the segment is pre-recorded. I am here with Vonny Fast of Cutco Closing Gifts. And Vonny, it's always a pleasure to have you on. You're a regular guest, but I think that's just because you're so damn good at what you do. I don't know if I can say damn, but I just did.
Ah,
Maybe we
I
can
like it.
bleep it out or not. I don't know. But yeah, it's our show. We can say what we want.
Totally,
And
right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we want to bring Vonny back for an innumerable number of reasons. And, Vonny, one of the things that we're so interested in with your business is that you have been so successful in what you did. You have an amazing product for realtors that adds value to their business that many people know about. We'll talk more about that at the end here. But also, the way you have run your business is something that mirrors realtors and what they can be doing. And you have been so successful, one of the top reps in North America, probably one of the highest selling Cutco reps of all time. And that is inspiring, and I think gives realtors a something to inspire too. And there's golden knowledge nuggets to be learned here. So Vonny, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to talk today about nurturing relationships, the fact that realtors are sitting on this gold mine in their business in terms of their database. I'm gonna take it away, turn it over to you, and
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about some of that.
Okay. Yeah, it's it's interesting that, this talk started to write itself in the last 4 months. So I was, actually, it's interesting sitting down with you 4 months ago. I talked about disciplines through adversity through my career. And
That's right,
who
part of our
knew?
business mastery on the
Yes, for
yes.
business mastery. And if who knew that I would actually, about 3 months ago, re-listen to that talk to reconnect to some of the things that I said about my lessons during my 26 years in business. And I want everybody to know on this call, and you just, or on this, that my business is very similar to a realtor's business. I built my database. I work on getting clients just like you. I want them to come back to me. I want them to refer me. I want to build loyalty, all that kind of stuff. And something that I found was driving me the last 4 months is that I really have felt like it's a special opportunity to connect with people, to help people, to show up fully for my clients. And I think it's quite powerful that as business owners, we get to choose to go to work every day. And I actually, during this time, I really just chose to go to work, to show up, to really launch into action. And one thing that in the first few weeks, one thing I've learned is we take action on things that we're certain about, at least for myself. So when I'm stuck in a lot of uncertainty, which was the first few weeks of this, I found the COVID situation. And by the way, the two simple empowering disciplines I'm going to share, they apply to my entire career, they're not just relevant for this time, but they're especially relevant during this time. And
Nice.
they're what I really reconnected to, because in the first few weeks, I found myself in a lot of uncertainty, just like probably everybody. I had orders
Absolutely.
put on pause, like many realtors had listings put on pause. You know, I've talked to 50 to 100 of my realtor clients every week. And so I just kind of got a sense of what they were going through. And for me, it was very similar. We were all, and I still think there's a lot of uncertainty, but for me, so I was like, I had a lot of presentations cancel, like gift orders put on pause, all that stuff was happening. And I knew one thing. So the one thing I knew to do was print off. So this is what I did. I printed off my 1,500 client list, and I count myself very lucky that I have a database like that of all the
Absolutely.
realtors and mortgage brokers I've served over the last 12 years. Your list might be 10, it might be 100, it might be 200, but either way, I printed my list off, and it wasn't super systematic, it wasn't super thought out, but I just started calling people from the top down, and
Perfect.
it was it was like this. It was like, hey, Lindsay, how's it going? You guys good? How's the family? Everyone good? Everyone healthy? You need toilet paper? Like, by the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything unless you need like, it was just authentic. I showed up, and I just showed up with that. Like, how can I serve? How can I bring value? And that led to that sort of unsystemized process that I started acting on, led to these two simple disciplines that I've engaged in almost every day since. I'm not perfect, but I aim to do these aim to do these every day, because what I reconnected to is success for me and empowerment in business and in life. No matter what's going on in the world, and what's going on in our lives has always been, for me, about the tiny, consistent daily activities, rinse, repeat, that compound and have an exponential effect over time. So, I mean, I'll just jump in. I've already really talked about it. Is the number one discipline I connected to is make 10 calls a day to my past clients, my inner circle, my sphere, my strategic partners, and connect with them. And it's not rocket science. We've all heard it before. But, you know, and sometimes, hey, if it's a text, but these are proactive reach outs to your people. And I think sometimes we get caught up in, you know, are they going to want to hear from their realtor? I did that. I'm like, people it's a lot right now. Even right now, I'm like, the market's heating up. My realtors are getting really busy. I'm like, are they going to want to hear from their knife girl? I'm like, yes. The answer is yes, they want to hear from you. Every single day that I've called my clients. And by the way, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I make 8 calls, sometimes I make 30. And sometimes I send some texts, and sometimes I send some emails. The point is that they're proactive, and I'm connecting, and I'm looking for some meaningful engagement with my client base. Every single day I've done this, I've gotten it. Something good has happened, whether it's a deeper connection with a client. And that is priceless. Whether I get to know their family better, that they have kids. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That I get a gift order. Oh yeah, Vonny, I need some knives. Or a referral, or that I was not even expecting in that moment. Or just we have some good laughs. And one thing I'll end this tip, and then we'll go on to the next one, but is one thing I've noticed in the last few weeks before the market started picking up, Lindsay, is I had multiple gift orders from clients that I reconnected with 4 months ago, 3 months ago, that indicated no need for gifts.
Right.
And it was so cool to see that trajectory. And what's interesting, if I told you that for every 10 calls you make to your database, your Facebook friends, your inner circle, your sphere, your strategic partners, for every 10 calls you made, you would get one deal. We couldn't make those calls fast enough. But what happens is we get attached. I do, for sure. We get attached to the short-term result. And I think what's one of the most powerful lessons in my business over 25 years, and again, connecting to it, is during this time is detach from the short-term results. Be mindful of them, but just focus on the activity and the process, and you know, just you're playing the long game. In our business is a relationship business. You're playing the long game. So,
well, and we actually talk about where I think people need to shift their perception of what the word short-term means, because I mean, 45 to 60 to 90 days is fairly short-term. That time is going to pass whether you like it or not. And you will see the results of what you're talking about manifest in that period of time. So yes, it's like, are you going to write a deal in the next 30 days? Probably not. But that time is going to pass, and either you position yourself or you haven't. So that's amazing. That's transformative. Over 6 months to a year of those simple disciplines, it's transformative to people's lives.
Yeah. And I think it's fishing and farming is a good phrase. I've heard about that. We're always fishing. Like, we're always adding new clients, and I'm staying out there in the industry, and I do presentations. Like, we still added 137 new clients to our database last year after 12 years in the industry. And that's powerful. But 70% of our business is reorder business. And we've had clients that keep ordering after 8, 10, 12 years. Like, it's so cool. And it's really about farming, like planting the seeds and staying connected and nurturing that database. And that leads me to the second discipline, unless you have something more on the first one.
Well, I want to ask one question, and that is just, when you made those calls with the rudimentary perfect system of just starting from the top and calling people, which is brilliant. That's what you do. That's exactly what you do. There's nothing else to it. It's like, let's not overthink this. People print out their Facebook friends list and do exactly the same thing. And then what was the response that people had? What did people say to you? Were people like, oh my gosh, why are you calling? I bet you it was different than that. It was just like, wow, thanks for reaching out.
100%. Thanks for bringing that up. And I would just be prepared to offer value too. Like, I was like, do you have any questions? Like, is there anything I can support you with? We have letters to go with the gift. Like, a realtor could be offering a CMA. like a mini CMA or a real estate review for their first year anniversary clients or something like that. Like, be prepared to offer value, see if they have any questions. But yeah, absolutely no one was like, stop calling me. You're so positive and encouraging.
Yeah.
I can't believe you care. Like, just
Yeah.
go away. Like, no. And so I think we get caught up in what to do, what to say. If you show up with love in your heart, and the one thing I ask myself almost every day is, how can I serve? Like, we've heard it before, but how can I support people today? How can I show up for my clients? And
I love it.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Take us to the second discipline.
Well, and that kind of, I'm just going to check the time. That's perfect. Is, and actually I talked to a top agent during this time 4 months ago, and he had never called his database. Yeah, actually pretty big database. He started making 20 calls a day. He said people were uber receptive. 17 people picked up the phone, talked to him. They had questions. He left 3 messages. 2 people called him back. Oh my God, I can't believe you called. Thank you so much. I think realtors, we sometimes forget you're a massively valuable resource for people. Maybe you can even refer them to your favorite mortgage broker to handle any payment questions they might still have. Like, who knows? So just a note.
Or you're just genuinely someone who cares.
Yeah, I think
and people love that. Like, people just, you're genuinely someone, if you do it from a genuine place, it's massive.
Gary Vee said, like, the best marketing strategy ever is just to care. Like, we can all access that, Okay. Number 2. So my second simple discipline. Now, I've always been focused on giving in my business, but this is something like, gratitude is an action. It's a feeling, but I think gratitude is an action. So my second discipline is about showing love and appreciation out there. So whether you write 2 thank you cards a day, it's very ninja. Whether you write 2 thank you cards a day, or you send a care package, or you work on sending somebody a gift, or you send a text video. I've been doing this for birthdays when they pop up on Facebook, or just randomly when I think of one of my clients, I'll send a text, especially if I have a busy day. And like this morning, I think I wrote 1 thank you card. So, later today, at some point, I'll text a video or do something of appreciation for a client. And I'll say, hey, one thing I appreciate about you, or what I love about you, is this. I think appreciation is a powerful tool in business and life. People that know me know that about me, that I speak on that and preach on that. And this isn't just about selling gifts. Like, this is about so much more than that. It's a mindset. And I think right now is such a vital time to appreciate and acknowledge people. Think of the last time you opened your mailbox and there was a handwritten card in there. Like, it's kind of like an old-fashioned thing, but it really does stand out. And I know Nolan Mathias is somebody we know. He did a gratitude project. We did this too. He tracked his results on it. Not that you're doing it. Like, one of my favorite quotes is, giving starts the receiving process, no strings attached. There's a powerful thing when you give without any expectation of return. It engages what's called the power of reciprocity. Think of when somebody has done something for you. You just really want to give back. Like, it's actually very human nature. It's in our DNA to want to give back. So you're not giving to get that. But Nolan tracked his results on 2 thank you cards a day. And I think he wouldn't mind me sharing, but he tracked $35,000 in business. Like, the ROI on giving is unbelievable. And if you're wondering, who can you write a card to, or who can you love on, or who can you show? I mean, we're all busy people. So how do you break this down? And my number one, a game changer for us and me and my business, is we identified about 7 years ago, I identified my gold group of clients, my A list. If you haven't made this list, chances are 20% of your people are responsible for 80% of your referrals and business. Repeat. And these are, I'm calling this now a level 10 client. We all want them. And why not break that down? 75 people, your number might be 5. And just start to show a little extra love and appreciation to those people. It's a game changer when you love on your VIPs. And one thing I will share is some of our, this is the unapologetic plug, because I do feel like this is one way we really help people. Yeah. We've had a number of agents. I'll just show, this is always fun on Zoom, showing that. Yeah. We've had a number of agents in the last couple of months. Even like the Cutco spreader, thanks for spreading the word. Just
Thanks for spreading the word. I love
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. They've ordered single pieces from us to send as a surprise out of the blue to their very best past referral sources and clients with a letter. And we have a letter template you can use, but it's basically what it says is, thank you so much for your support, loyalty, and referrals through the years. I cannot thank you enough. I imagine you've been cooking a lot more these days.
Yeah, isn't that true? People have been,
right?
if you hate your, it's like we say in real
Right.
estate, people during COVID have figured out that their master bedroom's too small,
Yeah.
or too close to their kids'
Totally.
room, or too close to their kids in their lives, period.
Yeah.
But they need a bigger home office, whatever it happens to be. And I imagine the cooking with the knives, people are noticing the same thing. It's like, oh, I hate my current kitchen or
Totally.
the tools within it.
I've often felt throughout this time, like, even though it hasn't been easy, I'm so grateful to do knives as gifts and for people in their homes. Like, it's been pretty powerful. But yeah, we have a letter and it just says, hey, thanks so much. From my home to yours, I wanted to gift you something. And it says, it comes from pure gratitude. And on the bottom, it says, P.S. For every additional qualified referral you send our way, you've been such an incredible referral partner. My goal is to build this set with you through time. So let's build this thing together. Thank you so much. It just honors the relationship. So yeah, that's like, giving starts the receiving process. Doesn't have to be epic or expensive or complicated. Just get out there and show some love and encourage people. And I can't tell you how many times I've said to my clients during this time, hey, if I haven't told you, I appreciate you, because you've got, like, I don't say this part, but everything I get to enjoy in my life is because of you. My clients. Yeah.
So I want to recap those. So the first simple discipline we talked about was the 10 touches a day, which is, again, so ninja. It's amazing how these things come around.
Yeah.
And I love how you said, I connect with people. Obviously face-to-face and voice-to-voice is one thing, but, you talked about, sometimes you're doing text, sometimes you're doing everything, sometimes you're doing 20, getting out there and doing that and just being genuine with it. And the next one you talked about is the 2 thank you cards, or working on a care package or a gift to send to somebody that's unexpected. And I love, you mentioned Gary Vee, and Gary Vee always talks about having a side hustle. And I'm telling you, realtors, I mean, this should be part of your main hustle. But when you talked about Nolan's results and the income, what if you had a side hustle of just banging off 2 thank you notes and showing gratitude, and that made you $35,000 to $40,000? I mean, so is that an okay side business to have you running?
Totally. On that note, I just hired a gratitude manager. A lady with a car who I love, who can help deliver things. Like,
amazing.
Right. So
yeah,
I think it's powerful. So,
okay. And you have something that you want to give to us as well. Yes. And tell us a little bit about what you do, and let's create some value for these guys.
So here, I'll give the 2-minute update, so everybody is clear on how we can support them now or in the future. Obviously, ultimately, and then we'll do a draw. We're going to set up for a draw for $100 in Cutco. Okay. So, I mean, as you guys have all figured out by now, I'm pretty passionate about making sure your clients stay your clients forever. And that's not easy to do. And actually, the number one thing that gets in the way of clients coming back to their realtor, 86% of people intend to use their realtor again. Something like 9 to 15% I've heard on the highest, but 9% remember your name after 2 years. It's nothing to do with being personal. It's just we forget things. And so what we thought is, what if your gifts could help? You're giving a gift anyway. So a lot of agents, what happens is they end up, there's this really special opportunity at closing or when somebody sends a referral. And sometimes we give the basket, gift card, bottle of wine, dinner out. They're great, but they're gone right away. They're consumed. And that's just the nature of those gifts. And so that's why we partnered with Cutco for gifting, because we were like, there's no other product there's no other product we found that has such world-class quality that people will actually use every day. It's in the kitchen where everybody hangs out, sparks conversation, that kind of thing. We put it in packages, and it'll last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and people pass it down to their kids. So we pre-selected the most popular Cutco tools. We put them in packages between 68 to 250, from like pizza cutters you can engrave and give with pizza on move-in day, to single pieces you can put in a basket or in our wine box. I'll just show a visual here. And, put wine or olive oil if they don't drink. And we brand your logo with gratitude, your name on it, so they never forget you. Or we can even personalize to the client, like, just to give you guys some visuals there. And we also have custom wood boards now too that can be engraved. So I'll just show that. And then, so here's what I want to do for people. So just to give you an idea of the board, and a lot of times
Nice.
people will, our realtors will put together this kind of thing, the single knife with the board. Yeah. And then we ship you gifts up front so you have them on hand. So it's a system in place. You can't automate relationships, but you can systemize your giving where you have gifts on hand. We bill you over time for them. You've got them when you need them. You grab them and go instead of running around trying to figure out gifts. So that's my pitch. That's my spiel.
Love it.
Yeah.
Vonny, thank you so much for coming on again and sharing. And the thing that I love about Vonny and coming on and sharing this is not theoretical. These are practical strategies that have worked and have got it. And I just got to say, Vonny is out there right now going to her past clients. And she was just telling me before the meeting here, she's doing 50 in-house appointments to sharpen people's knives, just, no cost. You just go in, provide value to these people. And what do you think happens? This is like realtors going out and doing these real estate reviews or annual CMAs, just updating people on what they have. You're going in, sharpening knives, doing an appointment, a house call, and, and she's going to get extra orders from it. She's going to build relationships, referral. It's amazing. But just, I would have you into our house to do that. It's amazing. All those things. So
I'd be happy to.
Vonny, thank you so much. As always, you provide so much value to us, and I think your products are amazing. I think every realtor should be involved in it, and it's awesome.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me the floor. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, well, take care, and have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you guys soon too.